Decaf cappuccino.
Decaf cappuccino. Why? Because it's 9 o'clock. You don't want to be jazzed up.
Exactly.
Well, you need to be jazzed up because you're about to be on the freaking show. What do you want to go to sleep? We got things to discuss.
Yes.
We got things to discuss. Listen, we got to talk about this pink sauce, okay? For those of you who don't know, we're going to talk about the pink sauce because for those of you that don't know what it is, we'll get into like the real dirty details of its past in a little bit, but it is basically a sauce that was created by a woman named Chef P in July of 2022, and it is known more for its controversy than it is known for its taste. It actually has 2 stars on Walmart.com, okay? But we'll get into some of the earlier controversies, but right now, as it stands, the updated drama about this pig sauce and this Chef P is that she is apparently broke and bankrupt, and she's claiming that she is not getting the residuals. She's not getting paid by Dave's Gourmet, which is a company who purchased, I don't know if they purchased the rights. I don't know. I don't read the contract. And apparently neither did she, because she doesn't even know what she's owed. She doesn't even know anything about what's going on with her shmoney. So she started a GoFundMe, and she started saying, yo, they're not giving me my money. This is messed up. I'm broke. I got kids. My mother's disabled. That means my mother's disabled, and she's giving me $100 a week to stay afloat.
I heard it was only $20.
$20. It was $20.
A day.
It was $20 a day. I couldn't bear read the GoFundMe live. I didn't want to read it again. So something of that nature, right? So Dave's Gourmet came out and they went to the Insider, which is like is it a magazine or is it just a website?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just a website. So they went
it must be a magazine, I feel like.
They went to Insider and Dave's Gourmet was like, we have been paying Chef P the whole freaking time what she's owed. As a matter of fact, we have given her $120,000 to date, and they showed screenshots of the bank statements. Now, from what I know, from what I understand, from when I get my tea for all my tea kettles, I have not heard a word from Chef P about this. She has not come to speak about this $120,000 that looks like it was given to her in her bank account with multiple payments via. It wasn't just one lump sum of 120,000. It looks like it was over 10 grand here, 10 grand there, a couple grand there, and she made a TikTok or like an IG video not too long ago where she was like, people be talking shit about me, but I just sold 200,000 bottles of the pink sauce. So it's like, who do you believe here? Who do you side with? It's a little hard to say, but I'm going to say right now that I'm siding with Dave's Gourmet. I believe they have paid up, and what I believe is she did not read the contract, and she probably thought that she was going to get more than she did. She was spending, and she spent the money that she got, and now she's broke. That's what my mind is telling me. What do you boys say about this?
You want to go, Pastor?
No, you go. You just started talking.
Yeah. You who want to go?
You.
Me? All right. So what the first time I actually saw her was like the 3-4 months ago when she was on an interview with, I don't even know the gentleman. I've heard his voice on TikTok, but I don't know his show. I immediately, first of all, I was like, okay, this
Hendrick
woman,
or something like that.
Carano.
Yeah. And he's asking the question and she says, I don't care about you, right?
Oh, we'll get into all that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. We have all the sound bites and everything.
So, we have all the sound bites. We'll get to that. But when she let that slip out, and that's my first interaction with her, I didn't know anything about this pink sauce until that I already didn't like her. I think that she wasn't a businesswoman, and it was clear she wasn't a businesswoman. A business takes a team, and there's no way with all this hype and clout she's claiming and everything else like that, that she was making the money that she says she's making without a team, right? So, and that was clear from the beginning. She had no team. she didn't know what she was doing. She seemed like she was doing a performative act. And when she talked to a customer in a review the way she did, I'm like, it's criticism. If you don't want criticism, don't be in the business.
Right.
Don't
We'll
be in
get to
any
that.
type of
We'll
business
get to that.
because you are going to get criticized. No content creator, no artist, no engineer, no freaking anybody. A painter is not exempt for criticism. So, I disagree with it. And just because somebody's black, that don't mean I'm supporting you. Like, it was clear that she did not know what she was talking about. And I saw that video and I was like, yeah, nah, she doesn't deserve this. I'm supporting it. And I checked it out, and a lot of people was feeling the same way. They were like, yo, this shit is nasty, actually.
But what do you think about the money first? Let's talk about the money first. We'll get to that.
The money, I think she definitely got paid.
You think she
I just
got
don't
paid?
believe her. I don't believe her. The
I
way
believe
she
she got
talked to
paid.
that one woman, I mean, like, I just don't believe her. I feel like she's not accountable. She went online talking about her haters who were her actual customers. And a lot of people actually said good points about her product, and she just refused to hear it. So,
Pastor, what do you think?
I mean, the only thing I could do is believe Dave's Gourmet. I mean, she's ruined her credibility every step of the way.
Right. As the tea drinkers would say, we got the receipts from Dave's Gourmet. I doubt that they fabricated these, okay? This is not an example of what Warner Brothers, they're apparently not paying the nun actress for what they apparently owe her. They have not come with the receipts, but Dave's Gourmet did. Now, let's go back in time to talk about what these two gentlemen were trying to discuss, and that is the reputation of Chef P. And I do quotes because I do not know if she's actually a chef or not. I've not seen any chef activities from her
she
besides
made this product from her
one
house.
thing. Right. Which, I mean, she could have been a chef, but I have not heard anything else about the chef activities. So, all the way back to July 2022, she goes online and she's showing off this pink goop, this pink mess. She's showing it off. She's dumping it on chicken, and she's like, check out this shit I made in my kitchen, and everybody goes crazy because it's pink, I guess. And they're like, we want this, we got to try this. So what does she do? She decides to get in the sauce game like any smart person would. There's a demand, so let's meet the demand. But she chose to meet the demand as quickly as humanly possible and as negligent as humanly possible. And what people started getting in these packages that they bought for 20 beans were pretty much expired sauces because...
Yeah.
And poison sauces, basically, because they found out that there was milk, dairy, eggs within the sauce, and she was sending them from Florida, and I guarantee it was not no next day with some ice. It was just like straight in the schmale. You get it when you get it. Bon appetit. Okay, very chef-like.
Yeah.
And these people were getting expired stuff. These people were getting rotten sauces, and they were saying because you could smell it, you could see it, and this became a very big controversy.
Didn't some of the containers explode before they opened it?
Yeah, there was like messes everywhere. It was like you could smell it, you could see it, and I mean, some people ended up tasting it. Speaking of some people ending up tasting it, there was a woman, I believe her name was Allie, and this is who Mo was referring to, where Allie is like the big antagonist in Chef P's life, because Allie was a pretty big TikToker. She came out and did a review of Chef P's sauce, and she was not happy. Neither Chef P was not happy about the review because Allie was not happy about what she received. She didn't like the taste of it. She didn't like the look of it. She didn't like anything about it. She decided that she was going to actually send it to a lab to get tested because her followers were like, girl, there's glitter up in there. And she was like, what? I didn't even know that. How the fuck you going to put glitter
Now you know you're retarded.
in a sauce? And not even like what? And she noticed that the nutrition facts were all messed up. That she was misspelling things. Like I don't know what you used to make the nutrition facts, but I'm sure they had spell check. Okay, like what the hell was that? Let's do a little double checking on the programs here. Okay, so this is when things really blew up. So now we got the expired sauces. People are getting them sent everywhere. And now there was this, God knows this man, show. I don't know, the Carano show, the Carino show. I literally saw it like 2 seconds ago. I don't even remember the name, okay? He ended up inviting Chef P on.
Was that an internet show?
I think
I don't know what
so.
TV
I
actually
don't
is. It must be a
know.
TV show.
It
I've never
was-
seen him before,
I've never
but
seen
I've
that.
seen videos of it.
No, never seen it. So he
Yeah.
ends up inviting Chef P on, and like any good host, he invites the person who Chef P does not like, who has a beef.
antagonist.
Yeah, the antagonist, the villain of this story in Chef P's eyes. And he's like, listen, you got something to say about Chef P's stuff. Chef P probably got something to say to you. So let's get on the air and let's talk about it. So we have a couple of clips that we want to play.
Before
Here
we
is-
begin this, I
yes.
want to say this. I really hate the color narrative that was happening on this one because she's a food critic and she was reviewing a product, and it does not matter what you look like. If your job is to review it, that's what you make your money off. She's a big content creator. Her job is to review it, good or bad. The color thing did not matter, and I'm telling you, it was not because she was a black woman. The product sucked.
Black, white, Asian, Spanish, all our taste buds are the same.
It sucked.
So when I was doing the review, there was just so many red flags that I saw in it, like the label. You know, when you make a USDA label, you have to put in batch numbers because if something were to be recalled, you have to be able to trace it down to the salt and pepper that is in something. And so if something...
Wait, not to cut you off, but to cut you off. So you didn't see the video because you follow me, right?
Well, I want to hear Allie. I'm
Yeah,
gonna give
absolutely.
You, a
You
chance
had your time to
Okay.
talk, so just let me have mine. So I understand, like, if it does have dairy in it, you see all these concerns. You saw my TikTok. I follow you. You have my address, my phone number, my email. If once I posted my original video, if you wanted to make things right, as a business owner, when you create a product, that's your pride and joy. You send it off to someone, they don't like it. You're like, oh my gosh, like, that's my pride and
So
joy.
were you
Let
saying
me
that
fix
you
it.
weren't contacted by
No,
Chef P?
and the thing is, if you knew I had a problem with it, you could have contacted me and I could have turned around. And I'm not a hateful person. I could have been like, wow, Chef P contacted
So
me.
you're saying that you contacted me.
No, I'm saying you
I
didn't
never
contact
received.
me.
Okay, but why would I contact someone who's fabricating something on the internet?
nothing was fabricated.
To be honest, you're not special. You're not special. Okay? So why should I lose my mind and approach you directly when you're fabricating something on the internet?
Well, I will say this because I want to hear both of your sides.
That's
I will
all.
say this. As Chef P, as a businesswoman, no matter what someone reviews your products, unfortunately, everyone is special to you because that's going to be your business.
Now, let's say a few things here. Number one, the show should have ended there when he said that. That was the perfect way to end that when he said
really was.
everybody is unfortunately, it went on and 2 more graves were dug after that with their own words, okay? What I wanted to highlight right there was how Chef P was like, oh, you know, I didn't need to contact you. You should have contacted me about this. Number one, she basically did contact you by putting out a TikTok. You saw it, so you should have contacted her. Now, she was saying, I don't need to contact anybody. I don't need to contact you. So then if you don't need to contact her, you don't want to contact her, then what was this quote about?
Initially, someone who received the first order was someone that I knew personally. So she called me like, girl, my package looks horrific.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, okay, we have to put it in, like we have to stop all of these orders, contact each and every customer. We contacted everyone directly, meaning single emails, and let them know, hey, the shipment got damaged. We're aware of this. We will either refund you or send you a brand new bottle of pink sauce.
So you did directly contact other people. What was different about this situation exactly? Is it because she came out and spoke her truth about the situation? That's what it looks like to me. So all these other people got a response. All these other people got a direct communication with you. But for some reason, this woman who did literally nothing wrong except review your product and tell the God's honest truth was not worthy of your direct attention. Doesn't make sense to me.
This was definitely an ego play, right? Because what was the key difference in this one situation? Her personal friend said something. This was a stranger. You know, this is a stranger. You don't know me. And her ego got in the way. Instead of just saying, oh, just like your friend said it, you felt some type of way because the stranger said it. And that's where most of your clients are coming from. Strangers. At the end of the day, they're strangers.
But wait, there was more.
I could have, taken down the video and done my testing and kept it to myself, which I did.
No, you could have reached out to me like, hey girl, you know what? I see what you're doing, it's amazing and all. I'm a supporter, but I think you should look into this. Take this step. Did you research this? Did you check out your packaging there? Versus trying to tear down my business and my livelihood. You could have contacted me directly,
Can you receive that?
Yeah, and
you keep saying that I should have reached out to you, but and also, and I'm gonna touch your hand when I say this. When I said that you're not special, I meant that as you're not special as far as someone trying to hurt me. So I didn't take it as a direct insult because I know the industry and I know how people use different topics to build their platforms. That's all I'm saying. And I forgive you.
I think at the end of the day, I think this is a moment of reflection.
Absolutely, and I think it's a moment of learning on both parts.
I think the learning is more on your part.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's being real. And this being real here. Because I literally, the thing is the matter of that her business, her livelihood, her safety is being affected now. And these are things that we don't think about. Mm-hmm. This moment is for you to realize that your power is really in what you're saying and what you're doing. And that one video that you did for that second, the follow-up video, had ripple effects that you have to acknowledge is there. Because if it was on the other foot, you'd be sitting here upset, crying, mad, if you had to move every week because you and your child were in danger.
Absolutely.
So this is the moment for you just to say, you know what? Next time, I will take this step. Before I post something, I'm gonna do my research. Before I do something, I'm gonna reach out to her. Before I do something, I'm really gonna realize, is this really my responsibility? Your responsibility is to build each other up as women.
What danger was she in?
We'll get to that in a second. That'll be one of the last things I touch on. Okay. Actually, it's more of a learning experience on your part. Like, what?
Now you know
No,
you're
it really
retarded.
wasn't.
What are you talking
wasn't.
about? What does she need to learn? She literally didn't learn. She doesn't need to learn anything. She did exactly what she was not paid to do, but she did exactly what she was supposed to do on TikTok, which was review the freaking product. That's it.
Hey, you
The
sent
learning
her.
experience was Chef P needed to learn how to properly package something and not put glitter in it and be more transparent about what was in the product. I don't see anything else. The narrative for this show was, right? Because when they originally brought Chef P on, they're like, she made a great business and she's independent and she's a small business, but online could be scary because people dox you, which it can be scary. People dox you, people harass you. So they set this up before Allie came on, and they were like, she was like, oh, people are hitting me up in the DMs with my address, with my phone number, and they're sending me death threats, which is horrible. Nobody deserves that unless they deserve it, and she didn't deserve it. So she's like, I'm in a fear for my life. We're moving because of all this. This is very stressful. But then you bring in Allie and you point at her as if she's the catalyst for all this, which she's totally not. She was actually really sweet, really nice, and every point of their interaction and every time I saw her get interviewed about this afterward, she had no malice, no malintent. She was like trying to even put the blame on herself a little bit. And I'm like, girl, you don't need to put no blame on nothing. What are you, crazy? You didn't do shit.
I didn't agree with her doing that to herself.
No, absolutely
that just shows
not.
you how careful she's trying to be with this.
It's actually sickening to me because I watched black women criticize that product, and out of all, and I mean, I watched a lot after you sent that video to me, and I'm like, okay, there's a common theme here, and yet they didn't use another black woman to actually point that fact out. They used a white woman out, and I was like, damn, this is obvious propaganda because there were way worse, more aggressive, harsher things said by so many other people. Like she was like the least of she was the softest out of the other women that looked just like you, that looked just like her, that was like criticizing, this is disgusting. Like it was wild. So it was really just a targeted thing, and I don't like things like that. I don't like it. Like, this is a content. You just wanted to pick on somebody because black pride and everything else like that. And truth be told, she was just a bad business woman.
Yeah.
Like that's
And
that's
I'd
all
like
it
to
was.
point something out.
Go ahead. Point it
That
out.
when I took food safety, and was taking culinary classes, and I saw how many people are involved
Hmm.
in
A lot.
from the farm
Hmm.
to butchering the meat to transporting meat to packaging it in the grocery store. The amount of people
Hmm.
that touch,
Your
this
meat.
product. I'm just astounded that people aren't falling dead in the street on a daily basis. But they're not. All these people involved and all these steps involved, people are following regulations so people are not dying in the street. All this woman had to do was make some sauce, learn how to stabilize it so it didn't rot on the way to other people's houses, and she couldn't do that.
Right. And then when you
then
make
she's
a
gonna
mistake,
point fingers at other people for criticizing her.
exactly.
It's completely delusional.
When you make the mistake, you take accountability and say, listen, like she already originally said from the beginning, she could have left it at that and be like, listen, I messed up because, I mean, I don't know everything. So how would I'm not in that situation, so I might make a big mistake like that. But I would hope that I would be like, listen, I fucked up. Money's coming back, or I can keep your money and you can get a new bottle of sauce like she said she was doing. But then you go on this whole witch hunt for this random girl, and then you don't take accountability when you get on the show. You're like, it's your problem because you didn't do this. And then everybody that's criticizing me is the problem. Like, no, at the end of the day, if your product's banging, people are gonna say it. And if your product sucks, people are gonna say it. They're not gonna sugarcoat it, okay? Because at the end of the day, she's a paying customer. She has no obligation. She bought, you have an obligation to her once she gives you her money. Are you crazy? Like
gritty. Let me hold your hand while I say this.
I was like, what? You ain't holding my hand. What the hell? That was creepy, right? Let me hold your hand.
Listen, a lot of hands touch your meat. That's what I learned.
She was wilding.
That's a lot of hands touch our meat, and yeah.
Now we're gonna do something fun because we heard about how Allie's comments caused harassment. They caused death threats. It was horrific. I mean, she just totally upended this woman's life and turned it upside down with these TikToks. So now, everybody brace yourselves. This is going to be graphic content, just like when they did the TikTok hearing in the congressional hearing where they showed the quote-unquote, graphic content from TikTok in the congressional hearing. Everybody get ready for this because this is going to be very graphic, and you're going to see, the true evil of Allie.
So here's my bottle. I'm just a little worried about it being swollen, and I don't know if this is considered swollen or not. Check the seal. Everything's good on that.
It is like sweet ranch.
The aftertaste, I'm not messing with. It's like watered down ranch. It's not bad. Definitely not worth $20 a bottle, but we support small businesses. I don't know if she's fixing things or not. That's not my problem. Today, when I went to go open it, something is not right. The smell that's coming out of this bottle, something is wrong. It's rotten. So I pulled out the bottle and I opened it up and I had to stick my finger inside of it, but there is a piece of glitter. Is it edible glitter? Am I going to die? Is it safe? I would be so interested to sending this to a food safety testing lab, and I think it's like $300. I'm willing to send this to be tested.
That was it. Where did you hear Doxer? Where did you hear?
Is there edible glitter that
I think there is, yeah.
About?
There probably
yeah,
is.
I think there is, yeah.
There definitely has to be. And I'm
I
sure
don't know a lot.
that's what she used, but like let's be transparent with that. I hope that's what she used.
I would hope you put that on the bottle. Like
I don't think
glitter.
that's in the new in the Walmart. And I don't know when Dave's actually took over and reached out to her. Like I don't know the actual story on that. Everything I've looked up, I didn't see that. But absolutely evil of Allie. I mean, Allie should just be totally just they need to erase her from the internet like Steve will do it and Andrew Tate, because I mean Allie just totally fucking just skewered her. Am I right?
That was the simplest review I've ever seen on that.
I mean,
whole
really?
thing.
I mean, Allie
I
should
just
just
wanted
be
to say that, and I
arrested
saw
for
that 3 times. It was the easiest softball review I've ever seen. I feel like we do harder ones.
She's just like, yeah,
Like-
I support small businesses, blah blah blah, and it's like she's saying like she wants this to be good.
But it sucks.
She's dying for this shit to be good. She don't want to give it a
didn't sound
bad
like
review.
She's trying to trash it.
No.
What I hate too, as we wind down from this topic, is at the end of Carano's segment, he goes, "It's your job to empower each other as women." Okay, now I can't speak for women. I
Sorry.
can't speak for Carano, but the one fucking thing I hate in this world is when I'm supposed to support somebody or I'm supposed to love somebody because they're my same race, because they're disabled like me, because they're a freaking the same fan
on
of
now.
whatever.
on
I'm
now.
not you. You're not me. We may have the same skin tone. We may both be fucking blind. We may both like the Insane Clown Posse, but we are not the same. And just because you sold something, I don't need to buy it because you're Spanish. I don't
That's
need
a
to
fact.
buy it because you're blind. I do what I want to do, and I'm not just gonna
Exactly.
fucking come to your defense because you're a part of my
You look
quote
like me.
unquote
Come on
team,
now. Yeah.
because you look like
Yeah.
me or you share a same common thread with me. I hate that narrative because nobody should run to your defense for fucking anything unless they truly believe in you or what you're doing or your product.
Yeah.
Same thing with being a small business. Oh yeah, it's a small business, so we gotta support it. No, you know what I support? Big business. I support big business. I don't care what pastors say. I like big business. You know why? Because there's protocols, there's regulations, there's test groups.
I mean, they
you know,
poison you
they
with nice
are,
words, right?
What?
They poison you with nice words, right?
Yeah, like, you know,
If the
there's like
food sucks,
they go
it's
through
gonna
like
kill you.
like the new Chick-fil-A sandwich that they have. They've been working on that shit for like 3 years. Okay, Chef P put that shit out in like 3 minutes. Okay, there's like, you know, they go through testing. Small business. Fuck you until I find out your business is good. I don't care what size it is. Oh, it's a small business, so we gotta support it. Anybody want to say somebody's pastor's rubbing his face? I don't give a fuck about your lemonade stand. I give a fuck if the lemonade is good. You
Yeah,
understand?
you fucking right, bro. Like at the end of the day, you 100%.
Oh, don't
right.
agree with him, Mom.
That's
No,
right.
he's right. He's right. Who fucking cares if you're a girl?
If I
or
put some
guy, you
shit
look
out
like me. Who
and
who
it
fucking
sucks-
I'm
cares?
talking about the small business part.
Oh, the small.
No, I'm saying you don't need to run to the defense of something because it's a small. We don't need to we need
No,
to
of
put that
course
out on the
not,
front
but
street because
we-
it's a small business, so we have to. It's like we
At
need to
least
be
check out the small business.
we need to be trepidatious because it's a small business. No, you can get criticized like everybody else.
Well, I agree
I-
with that.
I just.
If you're in
hate that
business, you're in
narrative.
business.
That's right.
I just really hate the narrative. It doesn't matter. Like in the black community, it's this narrative like of when we have to support everything no matter what because we look like each other, and it's not true. Like I really just want good product.
That's right.
That's really what it comes down to. Like at the end of the day, you release a good product. Everybody's talking about. There's a lot of black products that have come out and have good reputation. So let's keep it there. There's plenty that's actually succeeding. I know people that right now start their own business that are doing well. So like let's stay away from that narrative. Like there's not people successful at the end of the fucking day.
Let me tell you what, Snow White,
That's it.
Spanish. I don't like her. I don't like it. I'm not watching it. I think we will watch it for the show, but just because Snow White's Spanish don't mean I like it. You know what I mean? We have anything to say, Pastor? You look like you're.
Yeah.
Not
You're-
really.
you're
I'm
upset
just
about
looking
this.
up the ingredients of it.
What
Oh
does it
yeah,
say?
please. I was
I'm
dying
glad
to
you
know
said that.
this.
So we will be hanging out this Friday. What I think not what we need to do. What
I'm not doing that.
we're gonna do is
I'm not doing
we're
that.
going to Walmart.
We're not.
We're
doing
gonna
that.
buy the pig sauce
Fuck out of here.
and we're gonna try it. We gotta try
You're
it.
gonna-
It's Dave's made it. It's not like it's coming from Chef P's kitchen. We're gonna be
Okay,
fine.
that's true. That's true. That's true. That's true.
But
Dave's
The
made
pink
it.
sauce is in that store in the mall
What store?
with the foreign
Oh,
potato
is it?
chips. And,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, see, this is what I would say. I'll pay extra to go get it from there because I like those guys. That's a business I like. I can't
It's
think of
a
the name
small
right now.
business. How do you know their business is any good?
Because we went there, we talked to those guys, and we saw what they got going on. I like those guys. They were nice. I saw their products. They know what they're
down
doing.
to personality. That's what your thing is.
Well,
It's
because
the
no,
personality.
but they're selling products that we already know of. I don't need to try them. Like but I'll pay extra because I like those guys. You know, I'm gonna be there anyway. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go to Walmart.
They could be in the back, bottling their own sauce and putting
putting thing in the pink sauce stuff.
food coloring.
I think that would take way more work than just acquiring it. Like they acquire the things from Japan.
You need like
and
an
China.
army of dudes.
Yeah, I think that'd be really dumb.
I don't know. There's a lot of room back.
I didn't
there
know that they had
behind
the pink sauce in there. Well, we're gonna try it just to see because my friend was telling me, Cemetery Girl was like, "You gotta try it, and I don't
do have
even
one
know.
friend that likes it.
You know somebody that likes it?
Yeah.
Whom is this?
It's a Slaughter. I was actually surprised.
Oh wow! So there's one person that likes it. Well, and
Yeah,
I can
one
imagine
person.
because it's
She
been
must have had a good
perfected at this
model.
point. It's been perfected at this point because it's going through a major company, aka big. See, Pastor, small business. They drop the ball, and who comes? Big Daddy comes in and say, "We got the manpower, we got the money, and if somebody
Big Daddy
fucks with
monopoly.
us, we're gonna put them down, we're gonna kill them, we're gonna bury them because we're a big business, and that's what the fuck we do. That's the team you need to be on, all right?
That's not necessarily true. A lot of these small business that get gobbled up by the big businesses.
Have great products, and they just got it
They
stolen.
were
because of-
aiming for that to begin with.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So I think we
it's
should.
not necessarily stolen, but you sell the name, you sell the brand, you sell the recipe.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and but Big Daddy
You go
knows
to
what
the
do.
pool and hang out while Dave's Gourmet runs with the ball that you.
Well, let me tell you,
created.
Chef P was doing
Yeah.
way more than going to the pool. She was going to the casino. She was going to probably get a couple of jewelry, get a
Buying
couple of freaking
just single mother new
rings.
stuff.
I just can't buy it from her because of her personality. You know
Can
what
we
I mean?
just say that
To be honest with you,
she
I
pointed
think
out
she's
all the
maybe
good shit?
mentally
She
ill.
said the disability. She said the color thing, woman thing. Like she used all.
She said
the
it all.
marks.
She said it all.
She really did. She said it all. I was like, wow, the child thing. I'm like, single mother.
And
was
I
like,
don't
wow.
even think see, this is my other point in this, right? So she made 120 grand. All right. Now there's people out there that are like, there's no way they're paying her the right amount because that's too low. Two things. Number one, we all saw the Nun contract, right? I talked about that. What that contract was. The Nun contract was to use this woman's likeness. She got paid 5% of 50%. Okay, so that would be 25 grand for $1 million on their profit. Okay, so we don't know what kind of we don't know what Chef P signed. She might have signed something just like that and not even known. Number two, I can imagine she got 120 grand because I have not heard anybody talk about pink sauce since it was from TikTok. And once it went to Walmart, I have not heard a fucking soul talk about that sauce. And actually, in one of the drama videos I was looking at, that shit was on the clearance section in some Walmarts. So I'm sure it wasn't even moving like that because the only people that were buying it were people that knew about it from TikTok. And then it was already, they didn't already have a good reputation after that. So like how many people do you really think were buying it at Walmart? That can't but you're talking about people who already heard about it and don't like it now because they don't like her, and people who don't know about it. And who's gonna spend $7 on pink sauce when they don't even fucking know what it is? Think about it. So I think she got 120 grand, and that's what she was owed. Honestly, I could be wrong about all of this. I'm open to that. That's just my assessment of the situation.
Well, it sounds reasonable.
No, I mean contracts is our thing, and the one common thing about any business is that people tell you read the contract. It's not new to hear. Like no one just started hearing that phrase, read your contract, like that whole sentence. Like, come on now. We know this to be a fact. So read your fucking contract.
Right. Read your fucking contracts, everybody. Speaking of reading stuff, today I read an Am I an Asshole post on Reddit. It actually was read to me. And I've never read an Am I an Asshole Reddit post on the
this is gonna be
show.
great.
So I decided to bring one to the show. It has to do with food as well. These are pretty fun. A lot of people do these on their podcast and their show. So let's get an Am I an Asshole post. This is a real Reddit post. This story is apparently it really happened to this person, and they want to know if they are in the wrong for their reaction to what this person said. Pastor, why don't you take it away and read this post?
I was shopping the frozen food section of Costco. I stumbled upon a bag of frozen soup dumplings that were not in the section they were supposed to be in. They
You're
were
already wrong. I don't know what those are.
From behind, boxes of corn dogs. I had been looking for these soup dumplings because FB ads had been bombarding me with them for weeks. So when I saw the one bag behind the corn dogs, I grabbed them and put them in my cart. A couple of seconds later, some woman stops me and says, "Excuse me, I was saving that bag to grab after I finished with the rest of my shopping because I didn't want them to melt." I told her I didn't understand what she meant. She reiterated that was the last bag of dumplings, so I hid them so I could do some other shopping and get them later. So could you please give them to me? I replied, "Sorry, no, I found them and I want to buy them. You are welcome to another bag if there are any left, but this bag is mine now." She says, "You're a real jerk, you know that?" I replied, "Yeah, I might be, but I'll be a jerk eating some delicious soup dumplings when I get home. Am I the asshole?"
Absolutely
No.
not.
Hell no. Damn, this is easy. No.
It's in the freezer.
No.
It's fair game. You got to come up to
Absolutely
me
not.
and say, "I was hiding those for later." I would have said, "Well, you should have hit them in your fucking cart. That's where
a
you
fact.
should have hit them. You ain't going to
That's
be
a
hiding
fact.
them behind the damn corn dog."
I don't know if you're not telling me the
disagree
truth.
with you.
Yeah,
Get
yo,
outta here.
yeah, okay.
You're a liar.
Why, this person was a small business
I
owner?
disagree. Yeah, because
You're a liar, man.
because this person became the jerk, became the a-hole. They could have just said, "No, I found them. I'm going to buy them. I'm sorry. I'm going to buy them," and walked away. But no, they had to say, "Yeah, I might be the jerk, but I'll be a jerk eating some delicious dumplings."
No,
when
no,
I
no,
get
that's not
home."
their fault.
That's when they became the a-hole.
You
They
truly
push-
believe that in your
they
heart?
push. They push.
Yes, I believe that in
Okay,
my heart.
so who's the
You're
one that
wrong.
started? Who's the one that threw the first shot? She called him a jerk.
Well,
She called them a jerk. So,
she was frustrated.
oh god.
For what? If you
He could
want
have
something,
just
put it in
given
your
them to her.
cart. That's like the universe. No,
Give
no,
it to her.
Now you know you're
no,
retarded.
no. Listen, if you see
Really?
me
I
grab
mean,
something,
it's the stakes are that
You
high.
should have hit him in your cart. No. You should ask if the stakes are that
Bugging.
high for her, because she's the one bugging out. You should have said, "Are the stakes that high for her?"
He could have given the lady a break.
No, she could have put him in her
Passive.
cart. That's what she could have
Passive.
No,
done.
I'm saying that person could have given that lady a break.
But
Pastor.
It was one of the options on the table.
and guess what? I think he chose the best options. He woke
It was
up
the
and chose
only
violence.
option.
No.
What?
No, if you walk in
What store are you about to
If you-
refer to?
if you walk in the chip aisle and you're like, "I want some Doritos," and I grab the last bag, and you're like, but they were next to the Cheetos. You're like, "Wait, I moved the Doritos to the Cheetos because I wanted to make it clear that that's the bag I wanted." And you said, "Can I have those?" I'm gonna say no.
Well, like, yo, I was about to circle back for those. Like,
Oh.
well, you should have did your circle already. You should have circled it already.
I don't know if you lying or not. No, these are my chips. If you wanted them, put
I
them
was
in your
putting
fucking
them
cart.
I
behind
just
the
don't think
corn
the
dog.
stakes are that high.
Yeah,
Life
okay.
is that high.
No. They saw them on Facebook and they were like, "No, today is dumpling day. I want the dumplings right now." I don't understand. Like, how long are you shopping that you couldn't put them in your cart? Are you there for 3 hours?
No.
They will not defrost that long. Like, you could put them in your cart. You're not gonna be there that freaking long. What are we doing there? Are we at the
Well, it's your
Kmart?
Jasmine and
Are
Gritty.
they at the super Walmart? She's gonna go upstairs and go fucking put on some and try on some clothes while the cart's out there. What are we talking about?
Now you know you're retarded.
It ain't happening. No, the
Nah.
stakes are that high. Bullshit.
You get
Absolutely
nothing.
not. I can't believe you agreed with this.
You ain't
person.
grab them and take it. It's mine.
I can't believe you
You
agreed with
crazy
this person.
bastard.
Now, maybe it would have been nice if he would have gave him up, but that would have been his choice.
Well, that's what my argument was. There were other choices.
But he's not an asshole. Definitely not an asshole.
Well, I told you when I thought he became the a-hole.
I think she was lying the whole time.
So you're victim. You're like victim shaming because he's the victim, or they're the victim.
Yeah.
She walked up and started throwing
They, him, he, her,
throwing
she.
names at them. Yeah, blaming them for stealing them, which she totally didn't do, and saying disparaging things. And you're gonna blame the person that wrote the post? Absolutely ridiculous. What's next? What's next,
Come
Dick?
on.
This is a dick move, Rich.
We just started this, and this is how you started off.
Wow. Well,
It's crazy.
we got some big news, okay? Me and Pasty already discussed this a little bit, but Crow, you may know this is happening, but
What's up?
you already know that fall is coming. And what accompanies fall is hurricane season. I was just thinking about, man, I can't wait for the next hurricane watch. This is going to be crazy. First one of the year. When is it going to be? Well, everybody, it looks like the first hurricane watch will literally be tomorrow. It already started today because Hurricane Idalia is coming to Florida. Okay,
I thought it was Hillary.
Hillary is somewhere, but Idalia is the big is
No,
the beast
Hillary
right
hit,
now.
California already.
Oh, she gone?
Okay. So she already hit. Okay. Got you. So now we're at
Idalia. Yeah, she
Idalia?
is. Last time I checked,
Yeah,
a
how
couple
did you
of
miss Hillary?
me. I already heard
thought
about
I
it.
didn't.
Who, me?
I thought it was coming. I didn't know it happened.
It happened already.
Damn.
Well, Hillary wasn't that big of a deal, I don't think.
It was like category 3.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah,
I heard about it, but I don't know. There wasn't. I didn't see any real talk about it. So anyway,
Yeah, California
Hurricane
was
Idalia is
kinda flooded.
coming. She is. It was flooded. So I don't know. I didn't hear about it though. I literally heard nothing about it. So I don't know. Maybe it just missed me. But this hurricane is expected to be a category 3. It is not even from the time of this recording even a hurricane yet. It may be right this second, but like 2 hours ago, it was still a tropical storm on the verge of becoming a hurricane, and it should be. I think you're going to feel the effects. This is mostly Tampa, Florida, and then maybe some other areas. And I think they said it's kind of skewing. It may go east, which I think means that other areas besides Tampa will then feel it if it continues to go east. But basically, if you're in the Tampa, Florida area, they're already telling people in certain counties and certain places and districts to evacuate now, because it's going to start rolling in around Tuesday, and then by Wednesday morning, I think, is when they're going to really get hit with a possible Category 3 hurricane. So everybody out there in Florida, be safe, because Idalia is coming. Okay, and Pastor, you were talking about, oh, it's a Category 3. That ain't nothing crazy. Well, my man JB on WFLA begs to differ. He was like, nah, these motherfuckers that talk about, oh, it's a Category 1, it ain't no big deal. He was like, nah, you can still die. Like, stuff can still happen. Bad, wicked stuff can happen because it's a Category 1. He's like, bad stuff can happen from a tropical storm. So he was saying, like...
You also got to remember that this entire year we've had constant natural disasters, especially in this country itself. And we usually don't have this many. So if you consider that fact, like, we had a lot of crazy stuff happen back to back to back to back. And that just builds up. Mudslides, and you know what I'm saying? Like hurricanes, it just builds up. And now we're in hurricane, the overheatness, all that weather patterns are just going to mix and form different phenomenons all over the country. So we saw snow in Texas. Come on now. Like, wild stuff is happening. So we can't like underestimate any weather phenomenons at this point in history. It's weird.
My man JB came out and said today on WFLA Channel 8 on YouTube. You can watch it if you want to get nerdy, because he'd be going in. He'd be like, "Yo, the pattern is going this way, and actually, if you look at the hurricane from 2 years ago, it's actually very similar to this, and the way it's manipulated." And he's talking about the euro. They go through all these different freaking metrics on hurricanes. It's really fun. So he was saying though, and I've heard this from other people, that there's a new thing called global boiling, because the water temperature is the highest it's ever been in history. And right now, where the hurricane is, or it's where it's going, I think in Florida, the water temperature is about 80 to 90 degrees. Highest it's ever been. Pastor,
Yes.
you're a big Greta Thunberg fan. What do you got to say about this?
Do all of this.
What do you got to say about that? It's
Well,
outrageous.
I think the higher temperatures of the water intensify the hurricanes.
That's what that's what I've heard.
Exactly.
But what do you think about that in
That's how it
general? What does
works.
that mean? What does that mean for humanity?
Well, it means stronger storms.
Does that mean we can pull the fish right out of the water and eat it because they're just boiling? Like, could we just like pull the blue out and then we eat it right there? What does that
I
mean?
I don't
it's
know.
not-
I mean,
it's
not
not
at
good.
90 degrees, but
What happens if the
mean,
water temperature gets to like 120? What's gonna happen?
well, I think you're gonna have a lot of life dying off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right.
There's just one that's also gonna I believe so, and somebody can always go in the comments to correct me, but that increase in temperature also allows, like, remember, there's creatures that's in like deep ocean, right? Like this change of temperature, you're gonna start seeing different things appear. Like we don't know what's gonna appear. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
too warm, man. Just like
Yep. I mean,
I don't want to even think about it.
at some. I mean, I think it's only like maybe another 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Is that every time the temperature goes up a degree Fahrenheit, it increases the likelihood of a sharknado.
Like, are you this guy?
What did you just say?
Of the Sharknado. He loves the Sharknado movies.
Do you really love that?
Be serious, Dick. This is a serious
I
time.
love the Sharknado.
This is a serious time.
I've
We're
never
talking
seen one
about
of these movies.
global
I love
boiling.
The Sharknado movie.
Do you believe in
can't
global
believe you made that
boiling,
reference.
Richard? This is serious.
Yeah.
Do you believe in global boiling?
Well, I've never heard that term, but I mean, I believe that the water temperature has gone up, and that I mean, the science sounds reasonable that it does intensify the storm.
What do we need to do, Richard? What emissions? You tell us right now, and we'll do it. What do we
I
need to
don't
do?
know.
Is it paper straws? What is it? Do we need to stop?
I would like to say that after all the years that I followed this,
Yes.
which is now what 10, 20, 30, about 30 years.
I'm about
Wow.
to say 30.
The water
30
degree was
years.
like 20 at that time.
The United States has done nothing. We really have done nothing to combat climate change. No matter what they say on TV, they've done nothing. And
how dare you?
I don't think that there's anything that can be done. I'm sorry to say. I hate to be, talking about dark topics on another episode, but I mean, if we really wanted to make a first move that would make a difference, we would call all our troops home and stop waging war, because the U.S. military is the largest institutional polluter in the world.
Wow. It's not the cows. Contrary to you saying contrary
No.
to popular belief,
Well,
it is not
I mean,
cows
if you-
farting.
I don't know how it equates, but the U.S. military is the largest institutional
Actually, it actually comes from a
polluter in the
living
world.
animal asshole. Is actually good for
So
the
I don't know
environment.
if a collection of cows in the United States constitutes an institution.
Will you start eating the 3D printed meat in solidarity for this? Will you start eating 3D printed meat so we
I
can
think
keep
I'm
our
gonna be
planet?
dead before all this stuff happens.
How long do we have left on
Yo,
this
you're
planet,
mad
Richard?
lucky then.
How long do we have left on this planet, Richard? Tell me.
I don't know. I always joke it's 5 years, no matter what year it is.
Yeah. So you've been
Yeah.
wrong. You've been wrong for a long
I've
time.
been
Like, a
wrong
long
every year.
time.
What I
But
think we need to do is
no,
this is what's going to
I
happen.
Hope that, I
ahead.
hope that that my view of the future is incorrect, and that there is a way that we could make a difference to subvert catastrophic damage to the planet, so that each and every person that wants to pursue a life on this planet and perhaps have a family would be able to thrive.
Right.
That's my prayer.
Right. And also, we
But,
need to, and
but
also,
we're not doing anything right now to make that come true.
right. Well, here's my pitch. I think I thought about this the other day when I thought of global boiling. Right. I thought, you think of the fish. What's the best way to get to Americans to get to us? You don't put it in a book. You don't put it in a scientific study. Okay, maybe Joe Rogan can do it, but I don't know. What we need to do is a Pixar movie. Because if you show us real fish, we don't care. You got to show us like cute Pixar fish with the big eyes, big googly eyes, like hi. It's like a big school fish, like a big school of fish, and then the water starts heating up and they start boiling. The closer they get to surface, and all the cute little fish start dying. And then it's up to some fish to save the world. Yeah.
So that's what we need to do. Finding Nemo 3, The Last Swim.
Yeah, Boiling Nemo. It'll be Boiling Nemo. Yeah. I mean, what other way is there to get to us? We have to do something like this. Am I wrong? Because let me tell you what's not working. Are the people that are sitting in traffic, okay? These people are getting assaulted. And let me tell you right now, I am with it. If you are sitting in traffic while Pastor Moran is on his way home from working a 10-hour shift at the hospital and he saw 2 people die and you're sitting in the middle of the highway and he gets out and he fucking kicks you in the face, that's what you deserve. We can definitely hear you. If he comes out and kicks you in the head because you're sitting in the middle of the highway going, climate change, I hope Pastor unleashes on you. Because that's what you deserve. The people that are going to museums and throwing paint on the freaking on the
I don't get that
on the artwork, you need to be punched in the head. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that assault is necessary in certain situations. Number 1, when you throw something at a pop star on stage, you need to get beat. Number 2, when you stand in the middle of traffic and hardworking people that just want to get home to their kids and a hot meal, you stand in the middle of traffic and they beat you down, you deserve it. I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that, okay? So that's not working. So what we need to do is we need to get cute little fish on IMAX and you boil them. And that's what we need to do. You get Greta Thunberg to do the press conference, and she's talking about the fish. You say what happened to the fish? They need to. You get her on there, and that's what's gonna do it. I don't see any other way.
10,000 years ago, the fish used to swim in harmony. Now, after
she can narrate the movie. She can narrate the movie.
After pollution, they all died, leaving only a few breeds left.
I don't know what to do about this. All I can tell you is that hurricane season is here, baby.
Voice.
And you know that we love hurricanes. Now, disclaimer, we don't
not
want anybody to get hurt. We don't want anybody to be injured or houses to be destroyed. That's actually what I don't like to see.
No.
But if you're a fan of the show, you know, if you're an OG fan, you know the number one thing I look forward to every year is Hurricane Watch. It's just something about the second to second updates, the people. You know, hey, we're gonna throw it to Tom out there. He's in the middle of the storm. Hey, Jim, we're out here. The van just flipped upside down. We saw a cat flying down the road. The water is coming up to our knee. It's getting really brutal out here, Jim. We need to get out of here. And it's just 24 hours of that. You go to people's houses, especially in Florida. In Florida, they're probably gonna start throwing Mountain Dew out the window, thinking that's gonna do something, but it's not gonna do. Do not throw Mountain Dew out of your window. If you live in Florida, don't be like the lady that was in Florida too, right? That she dumped the stuff on her. She dumped the Mountain Dew on herself to get the DNA after murdering somebody. Yep. Do not think that Mountain Dew will save you. It will not. Do not stock up on Mountain Dew. Stock up on
Mountain Dew is not the answer. No,
stock up on sandbags. Board the windows. Okay, be smart about this. If it's one thing we love, it's just something about the hurricane watching. It's something about the camaraderie in the chat. And by camaraderie, we mean absolute chaos and anarchy in the chat. Very disrespectful comments, very funny comments. And it's just fun. Last year I saw them go on the helicopter. I thought that was cool. Like, hey, we're gonna send it up to James. He's in the helicopter. Brrr. Yeah, we're looking down at the eye of the hurricane right now. It's pretty wicked, right? I was like, whoa, this is getting advanced. If there's one thing I could watch all day, it's Hurricane Watch. And then, somebody's like, yo, I hope that, the plane don't go down, or they're just saying some reckless ass shit.
Yo, there's nothing better than watching a man hide from nature,
No, these people are not hiding. These people are out in the parking lot.
You remember the last, I think it was the most recent one, the guy was in it was so bad he was in the parking lot.
Oh, I think I remember this.
That was
remember that.
great. It was so strong when I was like, wow, he was just.
It's hard to remember.
Turned off.
It's hard to remember any of this because I watched hours upon hours for years of hurricane watch. It's just something I'm fascinated with. You go in the comments and you're gonna see things that may shock you. It's just absolutely. Pastor, you joined us one year, right? You joined us last year. How did you feel about hurricane?
Yeah, I had a ball.
Yeah, you heard about you saw the potheads that was just in there?
It was insanity, man. The disrespectful comments.
Well, like with the helicopter, like somebody would write like fake news and then someone would go fake helicopter.
Yeah, fake everything. It's always fake something. It's like as soon as the stream starts, it's like fake tree, fake cars, fake flood, fake that's a favorite of mine. That is a favorite. The fake comments, or they're like, is there a vaccine for the hurricanes? Is there a vax for this? When the vaccine was big, put on your mask for the hurricane. It's going to save you. Yeah. A lot of just top quality chef's kiss comments in there. You need to be there. If listen, there's tons of resources out there for you, tons of places to go. I think a lot of them are Fox though. So like you need to go to like the local news stations like WFLA Channel 8 does them. But you got to go to like
on
Fox.
YouTube.
Yeah, you got to go on YouTube. And I think like Fox, like go to Fox Florida and shit like that. And there'll be live feeds. And just come with us and have a ball. Get a snack. And we are praying for all that will be victims of this, though. I do not like to see.
How fast we can make mainstream media go private.
Oh, they shut down the chat on some of these streams. It gets out of control.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It gets out of control. What I don't like to see is when people get rescued on the boats. I don't like to see that. But even then, like when people, when the neighborhood is flooded so bad, they got to come on the boats and they're like, listen, we can't do nothing for you till the morning. That's scary.
Oh no, that is.
People
scary.
Are on the roofs and stuff.
Yeah.
But even there's people in the chat that's not even off limits to them. They will still find something to say.
Not us.
No,
we're not.
So what would a Hurricane Mo look like?
A lot of people would die. It would be a hurricane of crows. It would just be crows everywhere.
A Mo hurricane would just be the worst thing you can experience.
Hurricane Chromo.
Listen, the fact that it's a man name, like a male name, that's already a problem. There's gonna be
how
bad
many
things
guy
happening.
hurricanes have there been? Like 3?
That's a good question.
I've only seen like maybe one. And I can't remember the name. It's always a woman, right?
Yeah.
How sexist.
From my knowledge, it's always been females.
What are they
Hurricanes always
saying?
been described as
What are they
females.
trying to say about that? Very
Did
sad.
they run through some men's names at one point? Or?
I feel like I've only seen one, and I
you've
can't
been around
remember what
longer
it is.
than us.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, one of the biggest hurricanes, I think it was in the late 60s maybe, or early 70s, was Hurricane Donna. And that's my mom's name.
I was just going to ask that.
So
my
when
mom's is Katrina.
Well, when my mom like cleans, when like if she's gonna throw a party or something like that, my dad calls my mother Hurricane Donna. Because she'll just like pick everything up and throw stuff out, and he's like looking for stuff that he wanted to keep. And
Tasmanian devil, huh? So we pray that all you in Florida listening to the show and even not listening to the show are safe. And we also hope that you will join us in the hurricane chat and enjoy the hurricane watch with us. It's gonna be a ball. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna talk about the news anchors' attires. We're gonna be talking about
silly ties.
Yeah. Today they had like a dog. They had a dog on stream. They were trying to get over there and they didn't want to hang out with them. It's just always random fun shenanigans on her. You never know what you're gonna see on hurricane chat. You never know. You see the people.
All I did was put in Florida.
Yeah.
And the first choice was Florida Hurricane 2023.
Boom.
And
here we go.
All these stations.
And they're live right now?
Yes.
Wow.
Send it to me.
Wow. Boom. We love to see it. I was watching it all afternoon, and this is before it's even a hurricane. It's just a tropical storm, and they're like nerding out about it. Like, the Euro is saying that actually if it goes 2 more degrees to the left, it's actually going to be on par to go this way. And I'm with it. I'm in, baby. So
tell me the angles, right?
You already know. So, Pastor, I asked you to come with some information to the show because there was a big mugshot release. And actually, I thought about this because there's been tons of mugshots released over the last couple of days and even last couple of years. Like, I feel like everybody's getting arrested right now. Like, literally everybody is in jail except us, okay? But starting with the biggest mugshot of all, Big D turned himself in. The iconic mugshot is now out on T-shirts, on mugs, everywhere. Pastor, why is Big D, Donald Trump, being arrested?
So, according to ABC News, former President Donald Trump and 18 people indicted along with him in Georgia are scheduled to be arraigned on charges that they participated in a wide-ranging illegal scheme to overturn the election. The charges include making false statements and impersonating a public officer, to conspiracy and racketeering, a charge generally reserved for organized crime. The indictment claims that Mr. Trump unlawfully conspired to change the election outcome while participating in a criminal enterprise.
My only comment and question about this, and I'll let you two guys go, but let's not get too political here. Okay, we can say that for the No Name Yet show. This is really commenting on the charges. So my only question is, we're locking up politicians now? This is like, when did we start that? Because let me tell you, if that's what we're doing, get ready for the inundation of mugshots to come out from both sides of the fence. I didn't know that we lock up politicians now. I had no clue. I'm very surprised that we're doing this. And I mean, I can only assume that we will see more Republican mugshots, more Democratic mugshots. I mean, am I right? I can only imagine that this is just the beginning.
No, you're
100% right.
You're on the right track.
I mean,
there's no way this is not going to backfire.
I would only imagine, and I hope that everybody hears the incredible sarcasm in my voice. If somebody does not understand sarcasm, I hope you understand that I could totally imagine that way more mugshots will be released of all the other politicians that have done crazy things, that have done illegal activities, right? Probably fucking not. Probably not. And I'm not a political guy, by the way. I'm not a political guy, and this is not a political show. But go ahead, boys.
He put out one track. I mean, what was it, a few months ago?
He put out a song.
The song when all the people was in prison, it was like, and they were banging. I'm not gonna lie to you, that was banging. Now homie got the mugshot. He's the biggest rapper ever.
And it was like, also there was like a thing where Young Thug, who is one of the rappers who was on trial for racketeering. Yeah, but his dad went outside with like a sign that was like, Trump got the same charges and he got bail. Yeah, but where's murder in Trump's thing? In Trump's accusation?
They say
they're claiming that the RICO charge on Young Thug because they murdered people. Like this is not the same. Things. It may be the same label, but it's not the same charges here. There's I'm sure there's drug distribution, murder,
different family.
Yeah, like let's not get crazy here, okay? I went into the comments and I'm like, am I the only one thinking this? And no, that was being backed up. All right, so I'm sure we'll see a lot of free Trump. We'll see a lot of free Trump and free Giuliani chat messages in the Hurricane chat. I'm sure we'll see a lot of them.
I'm struggling because I really want a T-shirt.
Oh, so get one.
I really want a T-shirt.
All you gotta do is get one.
It's to the point where I thought he was funny, but I never thought like the mainstream media would take him that seriously. And I thought they were smart enough to know that like if they did this, it was gonna be like the biggest freaking thing ever. Like
he raised, I think, $7 million since the mugshot for his campaign.
And exactly what I thought happened. And I'm just like, okay, so I know this is a joke. And y'all refuse to step back. Okay, then I'm just gonna enjoy the joke now.
Pastor,
at
you
this
are
point, like,
go ahead.
The most intelligent people in this country are falling for this trolling. I literally mean, like, why not just join in at this point?
Pastor, you are a political analyst. You are our political analyst. Let's patch in our political analyst right now, Pastor Moran. Okay?
Go ahead.
Tell us what you think about the situation and where do you see this going? Will he be locked up for these supposed charges?
I can't say what's going to happen to him, but what I would like to do is just take a moment to bring everybody back to when Trump was elected and he was inaugurated into office, and the Democrats just hit the ground running with accusing him of all kinds of nefarious things that they unsuccessfully were able to prove. There was that the Russiagate was the biggest hoax unleashed on the American public in history, and the only thing that lasted from the whole Russiagate is they were able to prove that a Russian troll farm bought clickbait ads on Google and on Facebook to the tune of like $106,000, and that WikiLeaks did in fact release Democratic emails, and that was the only thing that they were able to prove in that whole 4 years of investigation.
So fuck it, give me a MAGA hat and a T-shirt and let me ride out.
And there are people that will still say yes, they proved there was some kind of nefarious activity by the Russians. It was all a hoax. So I say that to say that the Democratic Party has continually just been hammering to find something to stick on this guy, and unfortunately, Donald Trump doesn't know when to shut his mouth. And so they got something on him in Georgia. So I don't know if you've heard the tapes, but he did ask, well, I don't know if it was the attorney general or who it was he was talking to find him like 11,000 votes or something like that. Ooh. I mean, it's a very, very bad look.
Uh-huh.
But the thing of it is that the years of pursuing this guy, trying to get something to stick on him, and finally getting something to quote unquote stick, it's just behavior that these same people will point to a country that they want a regime change and say that that's undemocratic. I mean, people are saying that we're already becoming a banana republic because of the income inequality. And right now, the Democrats are exercising politics that really just confirm that we are turning into a banana republic.
And what does that mean for the? What does that mean for the layman's like me? What is a banana republic? I only know
what it basically means is that there's gross income inequality, there's a corrupt ruling class, and in a lot of cases there is a bigger country that's kind of pulling the strings. That's not really happening to us unless we consider international corporations, bigger entities pulling the strings.
I would.
Yeah.
Big business, big daddy.
So the Democrat, like you pointed out, Gritty, is that the Democrats have opened another Pandora's box, which empowers the Republicans to do the same thing to one of their candidates.
Right.
And I think it's just very bad for our politics. And if they had just waited till the next election and let the people decide who they wanted in the presidency, that's what a democratic republic is supposed to be based on. But all this stuff that is happening through the judiciary is just, I just think it's disingenuous to for the democratic society.
Can we just give at least Trump his G card though, for what he did with Tucker Carlson's show on Twitter?
When he was being interviewed during the debate,
5 minutes before the debate, I gotta give him his G card.
Did you guys listen to it?
No,
I didn't get the chance to. I really want to, but
it's hilarious.
Why was he not in the Republican debate?
Because he was a G. Like this man is an evil genius. So Trump, and this was planned out. We all know Tucker left Fox, that he got fired. He went to Twitter, his number, and I predicted this. No one could tell me nothing. I said he was going to be the most dangerous man Fox ever let go. He's now literally the most dangerous man Fox let go. And literally as the debate was about to happen, Trump a few days ago was already saying, I'm not going to show up. Everybody knows who I am already. I'm not going to show up to that debate.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why he wasn't there.
Secretly set up something with Tucker to have his one-on-one
At
interview
the same time of the
at
debate.
5 minutes before the debate even started.
Nice.
Just to
he's
still
a brilliant showman, and he really is.
Very nice.
to shit on Fox. I mean, it was the most brilliant strategy I've
And
ever
when you
seen in my
listen
life.
to it, I mean, it's hilarious the way he talks about people, and it really is Trump at his best.
Wow.
It was like such a ha I'm the man type of thing.
And I don't even want the guy to win, but
me neither. And it's just like the crazy fact that the numbers for Fox plummet. I mean, they look back. I mean, millions, Gritty, millions audience of people just tune into Twitter just to listen to this man talk. It's unfathomable. The new
and
media
it was
is
entertaining.
completely.
It was very entertaining.
Well, he's an entertaining guy. No doubt about that.
Yeah.
You can't.
And
if
look
you
what he
say
done
that,
his mugshot.
He got the mugshot and then he middle fingered everybody at the same time and said, "I'm still relevant."
the mugshot is
It was
only going to
crazy.
make him more relevant and more likable to people. Like that's
Yeah.
what you don't understand.
It's one of the best mugshots I've ever seen in my life.
For real.
Everybody,
For real.
it's going to be
I know
memed
every
forever.
black man and Spanish man and like skinhead is jealous right now. Like, wow, they didn't let us take a mugshot like that.
It's going to be memed forever. It's going to be sold everywhere, and it's only going to boost his popularity, and that's evident by the amount of money that was given to his campaign, which was
This thing is eternal, man.
$7 million. And that's
Can
$7 million since it happened, and that's only like what, a couple days ago. It only dropped like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the campaign started, but it didn't start yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Well, I mean, if you watch the Republican debate, I mean, it was horrific.
They usually are. The only time I ever watched it was when Trump was on.
Yeah.
I would never watch it without him.
I mean, all it was a bunch of militaristic neocons that want to go to war with everybody, and they have no domestic agenda.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just gonna
I
blame
wouldn't
Mexico.
vote for any of them.
No.
So do you think he will go to prison, Pastor?
What white man goes to prison?
Maybe Trump.
I don't know if you heard this, but
Bernie
What
Madoff.
white billionaire goes to prison?
Bernie Madoff.
gosh, I forgot the guy's name. He's already
Todd
proposed
Chrisley.
it, but there's a defense that they might use this to say that while they were working in the capacity of a federal official, that they can't be tried for state laws, and they can appeal to the court to send it to a federal court.
Right.
And one person's already done that, I think today. And the person I was listening to talking about it said every time that has happened, the federal court has dismissed the charges.
Wow. So he might be walking free, and that's it. That's the end of that.
If he keeps escaping like this, can we assume the clipping is happening? Because this is I feel like this is where the point in the movie where they're like somebody in the background is like clip him.
Oh, you think he might
At
be?
this point.
He might be X'd out.
Say that Trump just walks from all this stuff, right?
Mhm.
Is this going to be the point in which the people who support the Democratic Party are going to finally say, you know what, my party sucks?
Let me stop you right there, Richard. Absolutely not. And we're just gonna end it right there because we could talk in circles about that. No, we already know that if you're blue, you're blue, you're red, and there ain't no switching around because that's it. Because it's in your fucking blood, and for some reason you can't.
I know.
I don't believe that.
I mean, that's the general population. I'm saying.
I watched my own parents for the entire Trump term, like glued to MSNBC, waiting for the walls to close in, and
Yeah.
this is it, this is the final thing, or whatever they would say, and nothing. I mean, how I just couldn't understand how they could deal with that level of disappointment for 4 years and still think something is going to happen.
So everybody's getting arrested now. Okay, they arrested the man who
What do you think
killed.
I'm gonna get arrested for?
Let me finish what I got to say first. What are you going to get arrested for? You're getting arrested for fucking murder. What kind of fucking question is that? They have locked up an American hero. The man who killed Osama bin Laden has been arrested for public intoxication and assault. How could you do that? Whoever Robert O'Neill beat up, they probably deserved it. Okay? How could you arrest? Let me tell you, if Robert O'Neill is driving drunk, get the fuck out of the way. That is an American hero right there. Get in the next lane. You better figure it out. How dare you arrest a man?
How many hours have you known his name?
That I've known his name for freaking years, okay? Because me and Dre talk about Robert O'Neill.
He practiced this all night.
No. Me and Dre talk about this guy. I'm like, yo, Dre, you heard the interview he did where they talk about the plane went down before they killed those. It's a great story. And you know what? American hero, how dare you? How dare you arrest that man? As soon as you would have saw it was him beating that person, he was like, all right, Rob, just take it easy, head home, cool off, and pick the body up, all right? The guy did what was necessary for this country, and this is how you repay him by putting him in the clink? Outrageous.
Do you have any details about who he
I was just about to
assaulted?
ask. What happened?
I don't know, but it doesn't
happened.
matter. He killed Osaka. What is nobody getting about this? You're
You're as great as the mainstream media right now.
What you're not understanding is there's not much he could do here to be thrown in jail. Okay, there's maybe like 2 or 3 things he could do that you're like, all right, yeah, lock him away. But I doubt he did any of those things. Okay.
Well, I have a question for you.
Let me get it.
What if he assaulted the person with a Bud Light in his hand?
That has nothing to do with me. What does that have to do with anything? I'm sure a lot of people would be happy about that. I'm sure a lot of people will be. Kid Rock will be happy about that. Everybody.
Oh my God.
And then also, Mo, you're gonna like this. Another person
What's up?
that is arrested, that's been
Who
arrested,
got arrested?
is your buddy from Hannah, Montana, Mitchell Musso. You know that guy? You know
Mitchell Musso?
Yeah.
Was he the Hannah Montana's male friend?
Yeah, he had like the black hair. It was like kind of long.
Yeah.
He was arrested for public intoxication and stealing a bag of chips, and he had multiple multiple like tickets for his vehicle. I don't know what they exactly were. So he's in jail. And I was literally just talking to Clay the other day. I'm like, why is everybody going to jail? Like everybody's in jail. The Casanova just got put away for, I don't know, racketeering, and everybody's getting RICO charges. Trump, Casanova, Young Thug, and now even Mitchell Musso's. I've never even heard about this man. I didn't even watch him on TV, and he's going to jail. This is everybody's getting locked up. Who's next?
You.
Tell me. Not me. I didn't do shit. It's gonna be you.
This is
Actually
crazy.
It might be me. It might be me because let me tell you right now. I think I'm wanted. I think
Tell
I'm
the
wanted at Bath and Body
Fucking
Works.
liar.
I think I'm wanted at Bath and Body Works because Pastor and I went there the other day. Okay, we went to Halloween Spirit or Spirit Halloween. I always switch it up. We went to Spirit Halloween.
Spirit Halloween. Which one?
We went to Spirit Halloween. We had a great time. We saw a lot of great things there. I'm sure that they have more things on the way, and we probably will be going there on Friday. I saw a lot of cool stuff, but we ended up also going to Bath and Body Works. So I was like, oh, I know they have like the fall candles out there. So let me see the fall candles, okay? So I go sniff a few. They all sucked, okay? Vampire blood, whatever the fuck it was, sucked. They all sucked. So I was touching one of them, and I went to go sniff it, and I noticed it was in like a candle holder of some sort. It was in some kind of mechanism, some contraption. And I was like, whoa, let me put this back. I don't know what this is. It's just like enraptured in this steel contraption, like a saw trap. So I put it down, and it was resting on top of one of the candles that is not in a candle holder. It was the only one. So I'm like, what am I like? I put it back on the candle. I'm trying to, and I noticed it's not working well. Like it's like wobbling, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, how did they even get it on here? I don't even know how they got it here. So I finally like figure it out, and I'm like, okay, I got it stabilized now. I got it stabilized. Passes over there sniffing some teak wood candle or something, and I scoot over to the left, and I'm like, all right, let me go smell this candle. Everything's going fine. Everything's going good. Forget about the candle over there. And next thing I know, kablow, blang, blang, blang. Just the fucking candle flies off the table, out of the contraption. All I know is when I picked it up, there was one piece, and when I looked at the ground, there were 3 pieces. That's all I know is there were 2 extra pieces on the ground when I looked.
Get an email saying come back and pay.
I look at the blonde lady, And she looks at me, and I'm like, "This, I will." Was it me? I'm over here. I was all the way over here. Was not me. Wasn't me. I sounded like Shaggy. I was like, was not
No
me.
fucking
Couldn't have been
accountability,
me.
bro.
Couldn't have been me. And then I helped her pick it up because I'm like, the person who dropped it would not help her pick it up, right? So I went over there because I was feet away. I was feet away. So I'm like, let me go over there. I'm like, she's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, how did that even happen? I'm like, oh no, I think you guys got a goused in here or something like that. She just looks at me like, uh-huh. And I was like, Pastor,
She saw your ass. That's
I was
exactly
like,
what
let's
happened.
get the
She
hell
saw your
out of
ass
here.
Break it.
No, I didn't break it. If you see it on the security camera, I'm like 3 feet away. All right. So I don't know what happened. All I know is that was the last candle I touched. So, but somehow it fell. So I may be wanted.
Blame it on a ghost.
I may be wanted in the Utica Mall for $7.50 worth of damage, and that might be my next mugshot. I may be the next one.
You might be the next one.
And he says to me in the concourse, you know how I said that wasn't me? That was totally me.
Yeah, facts. Of course.
I said it was not me in the store so many times that everybody was like, yeah, it was. Like, if I would have said it once, they'd be like, oh yeah, like, of course. But I said it like 80 times that everybody was probably like, all right, we know it was you now. It's not that big of a deal. It was literally a $7 candle. Like, there's no need to get that. I had my hands up like this, like if I was in front of the police, like, was it me? I swear on everything, I was literally over here. It made it was so embarrassing, such a loud sound. It flew all over the place. But
I feel better about that because I'm always scared that it's gonna happen to me, and it's never happened to me.
Yeah,
So
everybody I tell that story to is like,
that.
that's a nightmare that I think is always gonna come true, but it never does.
Same.
But it did for
And you
me.
broke the
Well, you
candle.
know the one person that is not in jail right now?
Whom?
Who?
George Santos.
Who's he?
That's
Why
the,
do you want George Santos and
that's the congressman that lied about everything about himself.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
not
yeah.
in jail?
No, he's
No.
not.
The guy that's, oh my God, we can't even get into that right now because what did he lie about? Just give us a cliff notes.
Everything.
He lied about like his whole, he
Everything.
lied about where he went to school.
His sexuality,
He lied about,
where he went to school.
he did like a charity for a dog, for like a vet, like what was it, for veterans or something, or for dogs? And then he just like
Yeah,
took the
yeah.
money from the charity.
He just kept the money.
Everything about this man's life was a lie.
He
And
said
just-
he was gay, but he was still married to a woman like 2 months before. It was wild.
he lied about his race too, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah, I
a
think
black
so.
man.
Yeah.
Dude.
I've never met a greater lighter.
Is he still, what was he, like a
liar.
congressman or something? What was he?
Doesn't even matter.
What's that?
What was he,
Wow.
like a congressman or something?
Yeah, congressman.
Is he still in Congress?
No,
Right
he had
now
to
he is.
resign.
Yeah.
Wait, he's still there?
Yeah.
I like how you
They're
get
getting
heard
ready
he had
to
to resign.
indict him. But I'm looking at the headlines right here, and 14 hours ago, George Santos says he can take Mitt Romney.
Wow.
No way.
Maybe in a lying contest.
No way.
Well, speaking of headlines, we got a few more to polish off before we end the show. First headline I saw the other day was, very sadly, a man committed suicide in New York City by jumping off of a 750-foot building in the middle of Manhattan and splitting himself in half. And half his body was across the street. His freaking blood was all on a construction site. It was wild stuff, man. It was insane. But
I'm so sorry for giggling. It's just that I've seen this in real life too many times to like not have that reaction.
yeah, exactly.
I've tried to grow out of it. I've tried to grow out of it.
Exactly why we know who's getting arrested next. So,
That's
but
true.
you did come up in my mind, not because the man died. I mean, obviously you come up for that. But another reason is because in the article, they said something that I know would have absolutely infuriated you. And I was like, oh my God, I had to bring this to the show. So for some reason, they mentioned, hey, the guy, he was up there, he jumped off, his body hit the a glass awning, and that's why it split in half, and his blood was everywhere, and he was wearing pajamas. And I said, uh-oh, if there's one thing that Mo's not going to like about this, is the man was... Do you think that pajamas... I know you don't think pajamas is acceptable for literally anything, but is pajamas... Can you give the guy a break for committing suicide in his pajamas, or will you still crucify the man
What do you mean?
for
That's just
showing up
somebody
in
should have took
public?
that as a red. I take pajamas, walking outside with pajamas, and that level of just like that. If you taking your in bed clothes and bringing it outside, that tells me that there's a struggle between identifying appropriate moments, as in changing clothes, making yourself appeal a certain type of way when you're in certain environments. That indicates depression to me.
So you claim
And
you think that
mean
is
this
a
young man
precursor.
young person just jumped off a thing with pajamas. That to me, I'm like, y'all all saw this man. That was mental health. Like
Yeah,
to
you
me, it
think
just
it is an
points out mental
indication.
health. I don't think anybody walking outside with pajamas is straight in their mind. They need therapy. They're going through something.
Oh, you saying they're gay?
depressed. I'm saying they're going through depression.
Oh, you said they're not straight. I would like to point out the other day, we went to Walmart. We had a great time at Walmart. And Mo was like, you can't walk outside with sweatpants. You can't walk outside with pajama pants. I look over to my left, and Jasmine's wearing sweatpants. I'm like, so what are you saying about your woman right now? And then he goes,
I disagree.
Then he goes, oh, no, a woman, no, she could do it. But if
no,
it was a guy,
I didn't want to.
you can't
honestly,
do it.
I felt like, I'm not going to lie to you, in that moment, because I already know what was happening, I knew not to say anything.
So what are you
But I
saying?
was
You
saying
saying you were
anybody else's
intimidated by your
business.
woman's presence? What
No,
are you
I was saying that it was a woman thing, and I knew to shut the fuck up.
What are you saying? You saying your masculinity was you were toning
No,
down?
I
your
knew
masculinity?
that
What
it
were
was
you
a
saying?
woman thing that was happening, that I should be quiet and not say anything. It
So
was
you're
a
saying-
comfort thing that had to be.
You're
I
saying
understand.
that women are more likely to be depressed, and that you give them a pass
No,
for
I'm
wearing.
saying that
what are you
her
saying?
wearing my girl's normal behavior is not that. So if she's doing it, that means something is not something of depression, is comfort, and I know what that means. So different.
So she's
on
the
a
only one
normal
that gets a
basis-
pass.
On a normal basis, she does not wear those. So I
Mhm.
already know that.
You see how the goalpost is.
It doesn't matter.
Always
It's not
moving.
a goalpost. It's a fact.
It's always
You want me to
moving.
give her personal business?
It's like
Portable.
She was having a woman moment. You know what that means? Things happen.
No.
That
And
means,
listen,
women
if
are
I were
gonna be
you,
confident.
and I would say, listen, you got time to put on jeans, right? So let's go. We need to look appropriate. Now that's if I was you. Me, I don't care. I wear
I
sweatpants
didn't
outside all
actually
the time
see it though, too, until that we was outside.
because you were just
So-
trying to ignore it. You were just so disgusted that you
I just
blocked
didn't even
it out of
see
your
it, to
mind.
be honest with you.
Like we're having this
But I do
conversation,
think
I'm like,
I do think it's inappropriate to wear pajamas outside. And
even
if you're not
sweatpants. He
working
says,
out,
even
or it's a comfort
sweatpants.
thing,
He
then it's
says, even sweatpants.
pajamas.
He
No,
thinks
no,
the
no.
sweatpants is
If
inappropriate.
you're not working out, there's no need for sweatpants. You're bugging.
Like sweatpants are mad comfortable
not-
and a lot of them look appropriate.
You're bugging. You're bugging.
If they're not like
Relax.
filthy, you can wear them outside.
But there are people wear filthy sweatpants.
That's not
Let's
what
be real.
that's not what the conversation was about from the beginning. It was
It's
about
always
pajamas.
disgusting. You have no.
I just thought it was
No.
so funny that I'm like,
That should
I'm
not be
talking
nobody's
about
fault.
it, and I'm like, yeah, you
outta
hate
here.
people that wear pajamas and sweats, right? And I'm like, yeah, and
I
I go,
do.
"Ew."
I do. I think
isn't
it's
your girlfriend
inappropriate.
literally doing it right now? He's like,
I do.
well,
I do. Yeah,
it was just
I
all
did. I
this.
don't
It was
like it. I
all
didn't even
this.
know it happened.
It was all this. All I
didn't
heard
know.
was that. So now
I
the
didn't even know
goalpost
it
has moved
happened.
again. Now the thing is, so now let's get it straight. You cannot wear sweatpants or pajamas in public unless you are Mo's girlfriend and you're having a womanly issue, which I'm assuming is time of the month, but I can't confirm that.
You're right. Exactly.
Right. So because her
You-
vagina was bleeding, you give her a pass.
You damn right.
Wow.
You damn right. You
Wow.
damn right. You damn right, and
You
I
will
know to
never
shut the
nail
fuck up.
down the thought process, right? Right, Pastor? It will never be nailed down. You
Well,
cannot
it
get it
just
right.
sounds like it just sounds like they're working as a team,
Mm-hmm.
and
I know
Go
not
t-
to say certain things.
go team.
Yeah, go.
Thank you.
USA.
You get it. You get it, Pastor. Thank you.
USA.
That's what they
Thank
should have been saying when Robert O'Neill was beating that guy up. Whatever he did.
you,
I don't know what
Pastor.
he did. I don't know what he did.
It took me a long time to get to that part where I'm smart enough to shut the fuck up. And that
Well-
was one of those moments. Can we all agree on that? That was one of those like, don't say anything. No
There's
matter how I
growth.
feel.
No, you
There's
didn't
some
shut up.
growth
You just kind of maneuvered around it. You were like,
Yeah, I knew
well, you were like, guys, it's
I knew better.
inappropriate.
Yep. Knew better.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I got to talk about some very sad stuff right now. We're gonna really get sad, and this is actually very serious because along with everybody going to jail, I feel like
might
everybody's
jump off.
fucking dying right now. We had Pee Wee Herman die not too long
was
ago.
okay.
Sinead O'Connor died not too long ago. Bob Barker just died. Now, before I get to my deaths, Pastor, would you like to comment?
Come on.
What?
I thought Bob Barker was long dead.
I'm not gonna. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I thought too. I didn't want to be disrespectful though. This isn't the hurricane chat. When I saw the headline, I was like, when is this article from? 2012? Sorry, Bob. We love you, Bob. But before I get to my deaths that impacted me the most, I know that, you know these people more than me, Pastor, because these are of your era, Sinead O'Connor, Bob Barker, and Pee Wee Herman. Would you like to say anything about that? I think we already talked about Pee Wee, though, right? Yeah, we already did talk about Pee Wee on your show.
Yeah, we did talk about Pee Wee.
On your show.
Yeah.
But I will say this. Crow and I are not allowed to speak about Pee Wee because, well, I'm allowed, but Crow kept talking about how he was caught jerking off in the movie theater. And I was just like, is this appropriate to bring up every 5 minutes in the man's eulogy? So how about we give him a proper talk about these three people if you feel the need to. Well, the floor is yours for the time being.
Well, I'm not going to say a lot. I'm just going to say about Pee Wee Herman that he was an incredibly talented individual, and that character that he created, I mean, really, I don't want to say it changed entertainment, but I mean, it was a great contribution to entertainment. And Sinead O'Connor, she had a lot of courage in the things that she did. That whole incident where she tore that picture of the Pope, she felt passionately about it. And that the thing that I respect about her is that she was honest about it as she grew up and saw it differently. And that I know that she was a woman of great conviction and was a strong believer in Jesus Christ. So I have nothing but respect for her. Amen. And that we don't travel through life in perfection. And Bob Barker, I mean, what can you say about him? I mean, he's a TV institution, that every time that I was sick from the time I was a kid through junior high, high school, college, he was on The Price is Right. He was the guy for Price is Right.
He's the reason why you get your cats and dogs neutered.
And the cameo that he did in that Adam Sandler movie about golf. What was that called?
Oh my God! You're talking about Happy Gilmore, yeah.
Happy Gilmore. That cameo was hilarious.
He beat his ass, right? He beat Adam Sandler's ass.
He beat the crap out of him.
Oh my God, I love that movie.
Yeah. Right. So there's my tribute to the three.
I would say, I don't know about Bob Barker's personal life, but I could imagine, that's how most of us would want to go out, rich, very old, and beloved by many. I would say that that's a good way to go out, right?
I think these are worthy legacies to celebrate.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Right. Well,
the thing I always admired about him, is just that he was fortunate to get that gig.
Yeah.
It's like Vanna White. I mean, what a gig.
Well, Vanna White wants
that she's had her whole life.
She wants some more money, I heard, right? She's like trying to negotiate right now.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear about that, but
I might be off.
Yeah. But I mean, up until this point, I mean, what a gig,
Where the stars are just aligned for them, Yeah. It's like, wow.
Yeah. Some people are just meant for these roles.
Like Elvira. Elvira's been Elvira for how long? Like longer than I've been alive, probably. What a gig to have. The money that's coming in is just constant, and good for them. Yeah. Elvira's alive, though, thank God. But two people who are not alive who impacted me for sure, we had some deaths in the wrestling community. And actually, it was very sad because it was literally back to back. One day and then another day. First gentleman that passed away was a legendary wrestler named Terry Funk, a pioneer of the hardcore the hardcore wrestling, at least in America. He would go over to Japan. He died at 79 years old. He had at least a 50-year long career. A 50-year long career in professional wrestling. Any promotion you can imagine, he had been in the ring. Exploding death matches. One of my favorite things to watch as a kid was Terry Funk go at it with Sabu in the famous barbed wire death match in ECW. I also was a big fan of his match at One Night Stand with Edge, Lita, Tommy Dreamer. That's a match I want you to watch, Pastor. That's one of my favorite matches of all fucking time. The guy has been wrestling before I was even a fucking sperm cell, okay? Impacted many wrestlers and impacted many audience members. The guy was a legend, beloved by many, had a long, great life from what I could imagine, and from what I hear, lived many different lives. He just was, a great performer and beloved by many. It is very sad to see him go. It is when I was growing up, he was around 50, still jumping off shit, still getting hit with freaking cookie sheets and
wild.
getting hit with
50 years old?
chairs. All right.
crazy.
He retired more times than anybody. I'm out of here. And then he comes back and slaps somebody with a freaking ironing board or something. The guy was amazing. He was a very tough guy, and just somebody that I remember from my childhood very fondly, and even somebody I dressed up as for Halloween. I was probably the only child dressed up as Terry Funk for Halloween in the last 50 years. Like, I don't even know if anybody ever even did that. I was a huge fan as a kid. So rest in peace, Terry Funk. A lot of people are going to miss him, and a lot of people are going to be watching his matches for years and years to come. I mean, any promotion you can imagine, he's graced the stage. Now, although he died at 79, and we can all kind of agree that's a life long lived and probably well lived. But the next day we got a real shock because Wyndham Rotunda, aka Bray Wyatt, died at the age of 39 years old. This was out of nowhere. We understood that he was having some health issues because he was an active WWE performer, and he had just come back not too long before that, and then he was out again for some health scares. I think that he ended up going out after like a house show or something like that. We never seen him again, but we saw him kind of on the street. We knew he was around, and we knew he was doing fairly well, and a return was definitely in talks. But the other day, sadly, the news came sometime in the afternoon for us, and I was just absolutely fucking shocked. 39 years old, a long life ahead of him, 4 kids left behind, and a wife. And I think the last kid was about 2 years old. And besides the long life that we have to think about, like the career that we could have seen, the things we could have seen him do, everybody's thinking about what the fuck we already saw this guy do, because he has been a major player in the WWE for the last, I would say, about 10 years. And same way I have fond memories of Terry Funk, I have very fond memories of Bray Wyatt. Although I do not watch wrestling regularly right now, I watch the big pay-per-views, and that's about it. About 10 years ago, when Bray Wyatt really first came around, I was in a very bad place, and I barely could leave the house, and I was dealing with a lot of stuff. And around that time is when I started watching wrestling again, because I was like, I'm home all day. Like, I can barely function. The one thing I know that's going to bring me any kind of peace and joy is wrestling. And that's about the time that Bray Wyatt was on TV. And I can confidently say that he was a major factor in me coming back every week. The guy could talk his ass off. The guy was a great character. If any of you are listening that was a fan of Bray Wyatt, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He came in as a cult leader, his character, and the iterations that his character went through until today were great. Not everybody agreed with the booking decisions that were made, but everybody could agree that this guy was a fucking star and that the WWE needed him. And everybody was shocked when he was let go. Everybody was truly shocked when he was let go during the pandemic, and everybody was very excited to see him return. And I could just say confidently again that I'm very grateful for his contributions, because it got me through a lot of dark times. And that's one of the things I would look forward to every day when I was going through that time was Bray Wyatt's going to be on TV. He's going to fight Daniel Bryan. Bray Wyatt's going to be on TV. He's going to fight John Cena. I mean, although that time was horrible, those were some of my favorite memories. We're watching Bray Wyatt against Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, watching Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania against John Cena. We all hated that because that was the time he should have prevailed, and he didn't. And then my favorite match of all, I just watched it today, and I watch it at least once a year, was the Wyatt family versus the Shield. And it really kills me to realize that 2 guys out of 6 from that match are already gone. Brody Lee is gone, and now Wyndham Rotunda is gone. And they're both at a fairly young age. Brody Lee was like one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. So to see that match, an absolute fucking masterpiece in my opinion. I don't know a soul that doesn't like that match. I can watch that shit over. It's a great match. He's had a great career, and it's very sad to see him go, not just because of that, but again, because of how short his life truly was in the grand scheme of things. To see Terry Funk go at 79 and to see Bray Wyatt go at, what did I say, 36? Something like that? I think it was 36. Truly horrible, man. We a lot was left on the table. I'll tell you that. And it's very sad to see him go.
Many people,
not just for us, fuck us, but for his family. A lot of memories were left on the table for his kids, for his wife. Everybody in that family was young. Very sad. Very, very sad. So I'm going to ask that, Pastor, you end this show with a prayer. Let's pray for the people in the line of the hurricane and for those who have passed.
Okay. Let us pray. And Father God, we look to you at this time, and that, God, that you know what's going on this earth that you created, and that, Lord, we ask for protection. We ask for provision for the people in the line of the hurricane. We pray that no one is injured, no one is killed, and that, Lord, that when people have to go through these kind of things, that, God, I know that you just need to speak to people who've been through it, and that you hear a lot of times a lot of gratitude that they have for the things that they have and the families that they have. So, Lord, I just ask that you provide for each and every one of these people in a mighty and a powerful way at this time. And that, God, we certainly know that there is a cycle to life, that people are born, people live, and people die. And that, God, that we call on you for the people that were left behind, that, God, that you dry tears, that you provide strength and you provide comfort. And that, God, we pray for all the souls that have gone, and that, Lord, I ask that you take them home, and that you allow people to see the face of your Son, Jesus Christ. So, God, we look to you, and that we know that you're a God who is worthy to be praised. And so, God, we praise your name tonight. Hallelujah. And that we may the blessings abound for those that we've prayed for. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Peace and love. See you next time.